On January 19, 2025, ByteDance popular video editing application CapCut suspended its services in the United States due to a federal ban that also targeted TikTok, a platform owned by the same parent company. This decision had wide-reaching implications for millions of users and content creators who relied on the app for video editing and social media content production. Background of the ban. The enforcement of the ban stemmed from the Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary-Controlled Applications Act, which mandated that ByteDance divest its ownership of TikTok by January 19, 2025, or face a nationwide prohibition of its apps. The U.S. government cited national security concerns, primarily focusing on data privacy issues related to foreign-owned applications. Reports indicated that the U.S. government feared that TikTok's ties to China could lead to unauthorized data collection and potential surveillance. The Supreme Court of the United States played a pivotal role in this scenario. On January 17, 2025, just days before the CapCut suspension, the court rejected a petition aimed at overturning the law, effectively allowing the ban to take effect. In the lead-up to this decision, rumors had circulated about possible negotiations or alternative solutions, especially with Donald Trump indicating a willingness to revisit the issue upon taking office shortly after the ban's enactment. However, these discussions did not prevent the immediate enforcement of the law. CapCut's service suspension. As midnight approached on January 19, CapCut users in the U.S. were greeted with a message stating, "Sorry, CapCut isn't available right now." A new law banning CapCut has been enacted in the U.S. Unfortunately, that means you can't use CapCut for now. Rest assured, we're working to restore our service in the U.S. Please stay tuned. This notification highlighted the direct impact of the legislative action on user access to the app. The abrupt suspension of CapCut services left many content creators scrambling for alternative video editing tools. The app had become a staple for those producing short-form content for platforms like TikTok and Instagram, renowned for its user-friendly interface and a variety of editing features. Impact on users and content creators. The suspension of CapCut had a significant impact on users, particularly content creators who relied on the app for their video editing needs. Many users expressed frustration and confusion over the sudden loss of access. While some may still have had the app installed on their devices, they faced the risk of losing access to updates and customer support, potentially leading to compatibility issues in the future. As CapCut services were discontinued, users were advised to explore alternative video editing applications. Options such as Adobe Premiere Rush, InShot, and VN Video Editor emerged as popular substitutes, each offering varying features that could help content creators maintain their workflows. The situation underscored the risk of relying on a single platform for content creation and prompted many to diversify their toolkits to mitigate future disruptions. Legal and geopolitical dimensions. The events surrounding CapCut's suspension are emblematic of the broader geopolitical tensions between the United States and China, particularly in the tech industry. The U.S. government's actions reflect growing concerns over digital sovereignty and data privacy, particularly regarding foreign-owned applications. This situation has ignited extensive discussions about the implications of technology regulation, national security, and users' rights in the digital age. The ban has also raised questions about the future of U.S.-China relations, especially in the tech sector. China views the ban as a move to stifle its competitive tech companies, which could prompt retaliatory actions against U.S. firms operating within its borders. The unfolding situation might set precedents for how nations manage foreign-owned tech entities in an increasingly interconnected and competitive global market. Future outlook and alternatives. In light of the CapCut suspension, content creators are encouraged to consider alternative video editing solutions. The recent developments have highlighted the importance of diversifying tools and platforms to safeguard against potential disruptions. As competition in the video editing space intensifies, new applications may emerge to fill the gap left by CapCut, potentially leading to innovations in mobile video editing. As users seek alternatives, the digital ecosystem will likely see a shift towards platforms that are not only compliant with US regulations but also offer robust features for video editing and content creation. This shift may benefit other social media platforms that offer integrated editing tools such as YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels, attracting users looking for seamless editing solutions. Conclusion: the suspension of CapCut services in the US due to the TikTok ban reflects the complex interplay of technology regulation and international relations. While the immediate impact has been felt by millions of users and content creators, the long-term effects of this ban could reshape the digital landscape in the US, prompting significant changes in how technology companies operate under increasing scrutiny. As the situation evolves, content creators and users must remain adaptable, exploring alternative tools and diversifying their platforms to navigate the challenges posed by regulations and geopolitical tensions. The suspension of CapCut services in the US due to the TikTok ban highlights several counterintuitive aspects of the situation. 1. Wider impact beyond TikTok. While the focus of the US government's actions has largely been on TikTok, the immediate suspension of CapCut reveals an unexpected collateral impact. Users may have assumed that TikTok's ban would solely affect the social media platform, but it also extends to other apps owned by ByteDance, such as CapCut. This reflects a broader strategy of banning related technologies rather than addressing specific applications in isolation. 2. User dependence on a single platform. Many content creators relied heavily on CapCut for video editing. The sudden unavailability of the app has forced users to scramble for alternatives, illustrating the risk of depending solely on one platform for critical creative work. Ironically, while these platforms provide tools that foster creativity, they also create vulnerabilities for users who do not diversify their toolsets. 3. National security versus user rights. The US government justified the ban on national security grounds, citing data privacy concerns related to Chinese ownership. However, this raises a paradox regarding user rights. Critics argue that the ban infringes upon free speech rights by limiting access to popular tools for content creation. This presents a tension between national security interests and individual freedom, suggesting that the government's protective measures might inadvertently stifle expression and creativity. 4. Potential for innovation and market shifts. The removal of CapCut could stimulate innovation in the US tech market, as developers may seize the opportunity to create new video editing solutions tailored to the needs of content creators. This could lead to an unexpected boom in alternative applications and perhaps even a shift in industry standards. While the ban is a setback for users, it could encourage a more robust domestic market for video editing tools. 5. Digital sovereignty and global competition. The situation underlines a growing trend of digital sovereignty, where nations prioritize local control over technology and data. The ban on CapCut and TikTok reflects a geopolitical strategy that could escalate tensions further, with the US taking a hard stance against perceived threats from foreign tech companies. Paradoxically, while these actions aim to protect national interests, they may lead to retaliatory measures from China, complicating international relations and the global tech landscape. 6. Legal ramifications and enforcement challenges. The Supreme Court's involvement in upholding the ban presents another counterintuitive aspect. The court's decision underscores the government's commitment to national security, yet it opens the door for legal challenges based on First Amendment rights. This may create a complex legal landscape where the enforcement of the ban faces scrutiny and potential pushback, leading to a prolonged battle over the rights of users versus the government's regulatory authority. 7. Temporary nature of the ban. While CapCut services are currently suspended, the situation may not be permanent. ByteDance could potentially restructure its operations or comply with US regulations, leading to a reinstatement of the app. This possibility suggests that the tech landscape is fluid. And what appears as a definitive ban could change with shifting political and corporate strategies, highlighting the unpredictable nature of tech regulations. 8. User migration to alternative platforms. The necessity for users to seek alternatives may inadvertently benefit rival platforms like Adobe Premiere Rush, InShot, and others. This shift could lead to a redistribution of user bases across different apps, which might not have been as popular if CapCut had remained available. The irony lies in the fact that a ban intended to limit a Chinese app could bolster US-based competitors, altering the competitive landscape in unexpected ways. These counterintuitive points underscore the complexities and unforeseen consequences of banning a popular application like CapCut as part of a broader geopolitical strategy, highlighting the multifaceted nature of technology regulation in a global context. The suspension of CapCut in the US is part of the broader ban on ByteDance applications, including TikTok, is a significant event that underscores the complexities of international relations, national security, and the digital economy. While many aspects of this development have been reported, several critical elements are often overlooked or underappreciated, which are significant for understanding the broader implications of this ban. 1. Legal precedents and national security claims. The significance of the legal framework surrounding the ban is profound. The Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary-Controlled Applications Act established a legal precedent that allows the U.S. government to regulate foreign-owned tech companies based on national security concerns. This law, which compelled ByteDance to divest its U.S. assets or face a ban, reflects a growing trend in which national security is leveraged as a justification for restricting foreign technology companies. The Supreme Court's role in upholding this ban is also noteworthy. By rejecting petitions to overturn the law, the court reinforced the government's authority to prioritize national security over potential First Amendment issues. This sets a precedent that could be used to justify similar actions against other foreign companies in the future, raising questions about the balance between security and free market principles. 2. Impact on content creation and digital ecosystems. The immediate impact of CapCut's suspension on content creators is significant but often underestimated. Many users rely on CapCut for its user-friendly interface and comprehensive editing tools, which are integral to content creation on platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. The sudden unavailability of the app has disrupted workflows, forcing creators to scramble for alternatives or adjust their production processes. This disruption highlights a broader vulnerability in the digital economy, where heavy reliance on specific applications can lead to significant setbacks when those applications become unavailable. Content creators may need to diversify their tools and platforms to mitigate such risks in the future, which could affect their creative output and business models. 3. Geopolitical implications. The CapCut ban is emblematic of the escalating technological tensions between the US and China, often referred to as a tech Cold War. This situation not only reflects concerns about data privacy and surveillance, but also reveals deeper fears about economic competition and digital sovereignty. As the US government imposes restrictions on foreign tech companies, it sends a message about its commitment to protecting domestic industries and interests. Conversely, this could provoke retaliatory measures from China, potentially impacting US companies operating within its borders. This tit-for-tat dynamic could lead to an increasingly fragmented global digital landscape, where tech companies must navigate a maze of regulations and restrictions based on their country of origin. 4. Long-term market shifts and opportunities. The suspension of CapCut may lead to significant shifts in the video editing app market. As users seek alternatives, US-based companies may find opportunities to develop and promote their own editing solutions, tapping into the demand left by CapCut's absence. This could drive innovation and competition within the domestic market, potentially leading to the emergence of new players. Moreover, the ban may lead to a shift in user preferences and behaviors, with platforms like YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels likely to benefit from this change. The way content is created and consumed may evolve, influencing trends in digital storytelling and video aesthetics. 5. The role of digital sovereignty and data privacy concerns. The CapCut ban has reignited discussions about digital sovereignty, data privacy, and the responsibilities of tech companies regarding user data. The U.S. government's actions are framed as a response to concerns about data collection practices and the potential for foreign surveillance through apps owned by companies like ByteDance. This situation raises important questions about how data privacy is regulated globally and what standards should be established to protect users. As more countries grapple with similar concerns, there may be a push for international norms governing data privacy, user protection, and the operation of tech companies across borders. 6. User adaptation and alternative tools. While users are currently facing challenges due to the CapCut suspension, it also presents a moment for adaptation. Many creators are already being advised to explore alternative video editing apps like Adobe Premiere Rush InShot and VN Video Editor. This situation encourages users to become more versatile in their editing skills and to not overly depend on a single platform or application. The call for diversification extends beyond just video editing tools. It serves as a reminder for content creators to develop a broader digital skill set that can accommodate changes in technology and market dynamics. This adaptability will be crucial in an environment where the landscape is continuously shifting due to regulatory actions and geopolitical tensions. Conclusion. The suspension of CapCut in the U.S. is not merely a technical issue. It is a multifaceted event that encapsulates broader themes of national security, legal precedent, market dynamics, and user adaptation. As the digital landscape continues to evolve, the implications of this ban will likely resonate across various sectors, influencing how tech companies operate and how users engage with digital platforms. Understanding these overlooked aspects is essential for grasping the full significance of the CapCut suspension and its potential long-term consequences. 1. Legislative and legal context. The suspension of CapCut services in the U.S. due to the enforcement of the Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary-Controlled Applications Act marks a significant legislative action driven by national security concerns. The act mandates ByteDance to divest its U.S. assets primarily due to fears over data privacy and potential surveillance risks associated with Chinese-owned applications. The Supreme Court's involvement, particularly its refusal to hear a challenge against the law, underscores the judiciary's role in shaping the landscape of tech regulation and highlights the balance between security and user rights. 2. Impact on content creators. The abrupt cessation of CapCut services has left millions of content creators scrambling for alternatives, disrupting their workflows and creative processes. As CapCut was widely utilized for video editing, its unavailability emphasizes the risks of relying on single platforms for content creation. This situation raises crucial discussions about the necessity for diversification in digital tools and platforms among creators to mitigate the risks associated with sudden service interruptions. 3. Geopolitical implications. The ban on CapCut is indicative of the broader tensions between the U.S. and China, particularly in the tech sector. It reflects the ongoing tech Cold War, where national security concerns are increasingly influencing regulatory decisions. This geopolitical context not only affects the operations of foreign-owned tech companies in the U.S. but also raises questions about the future of international digital cooperation, data privacy standards, and the potential for retaliatory actions against U.S. firms in China, thereby impacting global tech dynamics. 4. Shift in the digital landscape. With CapCut's suspension, the U.S. digital content creation market is poised for transformation. The absence of a popular tool may open opportunities for other video editing applications and prompt innovation within the sector. Content creators may explore alternatives like Adobe Premiere Rush or InShot, which could reshape video editing trends and influence the aesthetics of content across platforms like TikTok and Instagram. This situation illustrates the fluid nature of the digital landscape and the potential for emerging players to fill vacuums left by established apps under regulatory scrutiny. 1. The Facebook Cambridge Analytica scandal 2018. In a significant data privacy breach, it was revealed that Cambridge Analytica, a political consulting firm, had harvested personal data from millions of Facebook users without their consent. This data was used to influence voter behavior in the 2016 U.S. presidential election. The scandal raised serious concerns about data security, user privacy, and the ethical obligations of social media platforms. It led to widespread criticism of Facebook, regulatory scrutiny, and discussions about the need for stricter data protection laws. 2. The Huawei ban 2019. In May 2019, the U.S. government placed Huawei, a Chinese telecommunications giant, on a trade blacklist, citing national security concerns. This ban restricted American companies from supplying technology to Huawei, impacting its ability to produce smartphones and network equipment. The move was part of a larger strategy to counter China's growing influence in the tech sector and prompted other countries to re-evaluate their relationships with Huawei. The ban underscored the geopolitical tensions between the U.S. and China, particularly regarding technology and data security. 3. The Microsoft LinkedIn acquisition controversy 2016. When Microsoft announced its acquisition of LinkedIn for approximately $26 billion, it faced scrutiny from regulators and lawmakers concerned about data privacy and market competition. Critics argued that the merger could give Microsoft unprecedented access to professional data, raising concerns about how user information would be used and protected. The acquisition was eventually approved, but it sparked discussions about the implications of large tech mergers and the need for regulatory oversight in the fast-evolving tech landscape. The recent suspension of CapCut services in the U.S. due to the TikTok ban marks a significant chapter in the ongoing tensions between the U.S. and China within the tech landscape. As we look forward, several predictions can be made regarding the future of digital content creation, app availability, and geopolitical dynamics. 1. Increased scrutiny of foreign tech companies. The U.S. government's decision to ban CapCut and TikTok signifies an ongoing trend of increased scrutiny of foreign technology companies, particularly those with ties to China. This trend is likely to continue, resulting in more comprehensive regulations and potential bans on other applications perceived as threats to national security. Companies may find themselves facing more rigorous vetting processes, leading to a tighter operational environment for foreign tech firms in the U.S. market. 2. Emergence of alternatives and domestic solutions. As CapCut is temporarily removed from the U.S. market, users are likely to seek alternative video editing applications. This will create opportunities for domestic companies to fill the void. We can expect a surge in the development and adoption of US-based video editing apps as developers respond to the demand for reliable alternatives. Apps that are not only user-friendly but also comply with US regulations will likely thrive in this environment. 3. Diversification of content creation tools. Content creators will increasingly recognize the risks associated with relying on a single platform or tool. This awareness will drive diversification in the tools and platforms they use for content creation. We may see a shift toward more collaborative and integrated workflows, with creators using multiple apps to ensure continuity in their content production. This could also lead to the rise of multi-platform strategies where creators distribute content across various channels, minimizing reliance on any single app like CapCut or TikTok. 4. Legal and regulatory developments. The legal landscape surrounding tech regulation will remain fluid. As challenges to the ban on TikTok and CapCut proceed through the courts, we may see significant legal precedents set regarding the balance between national security and user rights. Future rulings could redefine what constitutes acceptable regulation of foreign tech companies, potentially leading to more nuanced approaches rather than outright bans. 5. Geopolitical tensions and tech decoupling. The suspension of services such as CapCut is a reflection of broader geopolitical tensions between the US and China. This tech decoupling may continue to escalate, leading to a bifurcated internet where US and Chinese platforms operate independently. As nations increasingly prioritize digital sovereignty, we may see more countries developing local alternatives to popular apps that are foreign-owned, further fragmenting the global digital landscape. 6. Potential for reinstatement and strategic negotiations. While CapCut is currently suspended, the future may hold opportunities for reinstatement contingent on changes to regulatory frameworks or ByteDance ownership structure. Strategic negotiations between the U.S. government and ByteDance could pave the way for a resolution that allows for the app's return, possibly under stricter compliance measures. Such developments would hinge on the evolving geopolitical climate and the dynamics of international trade relations. 7. Impact on user behavior and content trends. The absence of CapCut and TikTok in the US may lead to notable shifts in user behavior and content trends. Creators might adapt to different editing styles or formats that align with the features of alternative apps. This could influence the aesthetics and techniques prevalent on social media platforms, potentially giving rise to new trends in content creation that reflect the capabilities of these alternative tools. 8. International response and retaliation. As the US enacts bans on foreign technology, there may be reciprocal actions taken by other countries against US tech firms. The risk of a tit-for-tat situation could escalate, leading to a scenario where prominent US companies face restrictions in markets like China, exacerbating the ongoing tech rivalry. Conclusion. The future landscape of digital content creation, app availability, and geopolitical relations is poised for significant change following the suspension of CapCut. The ongoing tension between the US and China will continue to shape the regulatory environment and influence the tools available to content creators. As users adapt to these changes, the emphasis on diversification, local solutions, and strategic negotiations will become increasingly crucial in navigating the complexities of the evolving tech ecosystem.